Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Infiniti's future. They've been around the block for 30 years now, and their parent company Nissan is in a little bit of trouble. They just reported a 70% loss in profit. That is not a good sign, but what does that mean for the future of their luxury brand Infiniti? I'll see you on the other side, and let's get into it. So Infiniti had a sort of press briefing, sort of mini auto show behind closed doors, no cameras, no phones were allowed. I wasn't there, but I'm just kind of reporting. I follow a lot of automotive journalists on the YouTube. So Infiniti is in kind of a weird spot. Their brand new QX50, which is supposed to be kind of a little savior for the company, is actually not doing as well as they wanted it to. It's definitely behind the likes of the things like the RDX and the Lexus NX. And I have driven the QX50. I've talked about it on my channel a little bit before. It has a CVT. That is its Achilles heel. The spongy feeling out of the get-go. It's not a good thing. What are they going to do with that vehicle? Well, they gave us a teaser image during this behind closed doors event. They're going to be calling it the QX55. And the QX55 is essentially a sportback version, kind of like you see with the Mercedes and the BMW, like a BMW X4, for example. I don't know if that's going to help them with their sales. I don't think that BMW or Mercedes is really a direct competitor to the QX50. I feel like they just need to get rid of that CVT, and that would help sales quite a bit. But what else is going to help save the brand at this point? So yeah, maybe the QX55 might help. I don't feel very good about it, to be honest, because it's going to have the same setup as the current one. Where do they go from here? Well, they showed the journalist in this behind closed door meeting. The journalists were told that there's going to be 5 new vehicles for the brand, 3 of which will be EVs. So the other 2 are not going to be EVs. What are they going to be? Well, maybe it's a replacement for the QX80 and maybe a replacement for the QX60. The other 3 are going to be EVs. What are they going to be? Well, one's going to be probably a sedan based off the Q inspiration, the QS inspiration. It's a beautiful electric sedan. It looks a little bit like a Model S. It looks a little bit like a Taycan from Porsche, and I think if they can do it well and they get it to market before the Japanese competitors, or maybe it has 400 horsepower with 300 miles of range, that's going to be enough for a lot of Japanese car enthusiasts to jump on board if they want a nice high performance EV. The other 2, I believe, are going to be 2 iterations of their QX inspiration series. Again, another great looking concept from them. It's going to be a fully electric version. So just like any other fully electric vehicle, all-wheel drive, you have a motor in the front, motor in the back, huge battery in the middle, no word on range or capacity or anything like that, nothing on charging time again. But the other one that they talked a lot about is that they're going to have a sort of hybrid. They're not calling it a hybrid for whatever reason, but it sounds like it's a hybrid because you have the VC, the variable compression turbo motor, dialed back a little bit from a 2-liter version that you see in the QX50 and the QX55. They're dialing back to a 1.5 liter. Maybe they cut off a cylinder, so they have a 3-cylinder VC turbo doing the power generation. That motor will not do anything in terms of propulsion or direct propulsion to a drive shaft or anything like that. It directly feeds a small battery, and this battery is roughly the size of the Prius Prime's plug-in battery. However, this is not going to be a plug-in at all. It's going to be a generator VC turbo 1.5 liter, and that will exclusively power the big electric motors in the front and the back. The electric motors are the only things that are going to be moving the vehicle forward. There's not going to be any sort of gasoline powered wheels or anything like that. So this small turbo motor is going to be powering the battery pack, and the battery pack juices the electric motors. I don't know how successful that thing is going to be. It sounds cool in concept, and it's almost like a bridge between our internal combustion motor and the EVs. So they're saying you get the full EV experience in terms of driving experience, that it's going to be really quiet, not quite as quiet as a full EV, but it's going to be also fully electric propelled. So you're going to get the instant power, the instant torque. I just don't know how that little tiny gasoline VC turbo generator is going to be able to deliver enough electricity to power those at max power. Maybe they got something up their sleeve. I just don't understand the technology well enough to get behind it. At this point, I think they just need to plunge fully into the EV. But, you know, I think that's kind of their fallback, is that you get a little bit of best of both worlds, but we'll have to see when it comes to market. If it delivers how they say it's going to get the full power and driving experience of an electric vehicle, and without the range or the worry or anything like that of having a limited battery pack. Essentially, you'd still have a fuel tank just like a normal car. So that is going to be really interesting. No one's really doing anything quite like that. It is not a plug-in. It is not a traditional hybrid. It is essentially a generator powering the electric powertrain. And then the other one is simple, right? Everything's simple. It feels like in that generator thing, or the generator model, a lot of things could go wrong. But anyways, the EV, fully EV, is very simple. The electric motor in the front, electric motor in the back, huge battery pack in the middle. They say it's going to produce anywhere between 250 to 450 horsepower. That's going to be more than enough for the time being. Yes, are there competitors that have way more power? Of course there are. But if they can come up with a 400 horsepower, 300 mile range EV SUV, I think and if they can do it, guys, here's the thing, is if they can do it before Acura, before Lexus come out with their electric vehicles, that is going to be their home run. If they can get it to market before their main competitors, that might save the brand. That's what they're trying to push for. They know that they're struggling in the conventional market with their gasoline and their outdated models. Gosh, their cars are so outdated. Have you guys been in QX6 or QX80 lately? They are relics, it seems like, and all the screens are super outdated. Gosh, you know, as much as I want them to succeed, it just doesn't look like they're trying very hard. We'll see in the next 3 years or so when they're going to be debuting 2 of these electric vehicles, possibly 3. And before I let you guys go, they say it's going to have a different look, which is going to be, it's called Powerful Serenity. Just look at the Q Inspiration models that they just came out with, the QX and the QS. I think they're going to look quite a bit like that. But what do you guys think? I think I'm looking at my notes here. I think I kind of covered all the important things. We don't know range. We don't know when. Probably in the next 3 years, we should have the first like fully electric and generator electric vehicle. I don't know. We'll see how well that one does. But we will have a sedan from the looks of it, kind of in the QS inspiration. It should be a great entry for that luxury brand. Prices, who knows what prices are going to be. If they come to market first, I mean, you always have to consider Tesla. You always have to consider the adjacent luxury brands such as the Audi e-tron and things like that. I don't think they're going to have much competition in the luxury realm, to be honest, if they can come out in the next 2 to 3 years. But what do you guys think? I'll see you in the comments below. Thank you for my Patreon supporters. You guys rock. And monthly giveaway is going to be a t-shirt from my Teespring store. So if you want to support the channel, you can head over to my Patreon page, and that will get you in the running for my luxurious t-shirt. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until next time, peace out.